Yo, check this out, family. The dopest thing to have is a God that wants us to make it out. And I mean that personally because man, we got a lot of people, we got a lot of things, we got a lot of um lies and manipulations in this world that tell us that they truly want us to make it out on top. But we genuinely got a God that did everything for us so that we can make it out on top, right? We couldn't save ourselves, so he did that for us. We couldn't offer up our own sacrifice, so he did that for us. We can't live, we can't eat, we can't breathe, we can't do nothing apart from God. So he's genuinely a God. Christ is genuinely a savior who wants us to make it out on top. And he's proved that time after time again with yet again his love and his mercy and his compassion towards us, man. My question for us today, the Lord wants to know, are we purposing in our hearts to obey him? Are we simply setting to aim to please him? This simply means that Daniel set to aim, like, I don't care what you talking about. I don't care what you saying. I'm setting the aim to please my God. Because yes, I may be in a situation I have no control of. Yes, I may be in captivity. Okay. Yes, I may be around y'all. Yes, there may be a king here, but I got the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, right? I'm of the kingdom. I'm of heaven. Yes, I know where I'm at. I know what my environment is doing. I know what everybody else around me is doing. But yet again, I'm not going to defile myself because I belong to the king. I don't belong to you. Yes, this situation may be in my face. So what? I know my God is with me, and I'm going to still uphold my God. I'm going to still uphold his standard. I'm still going to do what God is calling me to do, even when the storm comes, even when times get hard, even when they want me to feel discouraged, even when they want me to be afraid. I'm going to stand 10 toes down for my king because he did that for me on Calvary. Even though they hated him, even though they persecuted him, even though they spit in his face, even though they ripped his back open, even though they disrespected him, even though they did all these things to King Jesus, he fulfilled the Father's will. I'm staying 10 toes down because he did that for me and you. He looked forward to the joy that was set forth before him, and that is me and you. And so, with all of this going on, not only am I in a situation that I'm in, not only am I in a territory that I'm unfamiliar with, but also the situation, the territory, and the culture is trying to get me to become like them. The situation, the culture, and the territory wants me to indulge in, it wants me to engage in the things that are anti my God, anti Christ, that are not according to my God's ways, that are not according to my God's thoughts, that are not according to my God's commandments. So what do you do in that situation, right? Do you surrender to them? Do you submit to them? Or do you uphold the standard and honor God in those situations? Like genuinely, what do you do, right? Well, that depends on the relationship that you have with God. That depends on if you are putting him first in every aspect of your life. That depends on if you are not discouraged. That depends on if you are not afraid. And you know that God goes before you and that God is with you wherever you go, right? It depends on the genuine relationship that you have with him. Are you all the way 10 toes down a Christian, full 365, 366 days out of the year when it's a leap year? Well, Daniel right here tells us, man, that yet again, I'm not about to do it. I'm not giving into it. I'm not about to go for it at all. And yet again, he knows this because he knows he will make it out on top if he continues to honor and serve God no matter what he's going through. I'm not caring about the storm. I'm not caring about the situation. I'm not caring about what's going on. I'm going to honor my God because my God is faithful and I'm going to come out on top. Right? Your flesh is going to burn with lust. You may want to sleep with that person. You may want to get drunk. You may want to get high. You may want to fight. You may want to be violent. You may want to watch that porn. All of these things is going to come your way because yet again, the enemy wants you to indulge in his delicacies, but you have to be in a place, in a position to where you purpose to saying no. And when you do that, you will show other people that God's way is good, just like Daniel showed him. We need to be determined and devoted to not defiling ourselves, especially in this last hour, because the world is about to get worse and worse. It's going to get more perverted, and they're going to want us to do things according to their will, according to man's commandments, according to man's teachings, and they're going to want us to reject God. They're going to want us to reject this Bible. They're going to want us to reject Jesus, and we need to be those individuals who purpose it in our heart because we love Jesus more than this world. That's why it tells us if you are a friend of the world, then you are an enemy of God. If Daniel was a friend of the world, he would be an enemy of God by causing himself and allowing himself to surrender to the king, to bow down to the king, and to defile himself, choosing what the king wanted him to do over the God of his life, right? We need to truly ask ourselves today, am I intentional? Am I determined about purposing my heart to please King Jesus, right? They try to serve them this daily, meaning that every single day that we wake up, the enemy is going to show up in a certain type of way, wanting us to indulge in his delicacies, right? And so today we in a world where they want us to indulge in and dine in the king's delicacies, the world's delicacies, right? Where it's culture, where it's cursing, where it's sex, where it's gambling, whether it's getting high, getting drunk, all of these other things that we once did when we was a part of this culture, right? But now we are saved, we are born again, we are redeemed by the blood of the Lamb, right? And so, yet again, just because we're on this side, that does not mean that the prince of this world, right, who is Satan himself, will not want us to indulge in the delicacies. They try to serve them this daily, meaning that every single day that we wake up, the enemy is going to show up in a certain type of way, wanting us to indulge in his delicacies, right? These are not God's delicacies, but his delicacies, right? And we have to be somebody who's choosing not to oblige in the evil and the perversion and the corruption and the debauchery and everything that consists of this world's traditions, while rejecting and being disobedient to God's ways, right? They want me to learn this language. They want me to learn the literature. They want me to do all of this. And now they want me to take a daily portion. They want me to indulge in. They want me to take down. They want me yet again to consume the king's delicacies, which will defile me as a person. It will defile my body. It will go against the ways and the truth and the life who is King Jesus. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say no, and I'm going to reject that. But are we tapping out when the first door or the first wall is brought up against us? Like, man, you know what? I guess I'm going to just drink. I guess I'm going to just smoke. I guess I'm going to just have sex. I guess I'm going to just lay down. No, I'm purposing my heart to not defile myself. And I don't care the opposition or the walls that come up. I'm going to keep pressing, because it may not be in this door, but it may be in this one. It may be a test this one, but there's victory in this one, right? Because there's a God that I serve that plans for me to make it out on top, right? He says, let my appearance be examined. He's simply saying, man, I'm about to show you that God's will, God's purpose, and God's food is better than man. I'm going to show you that God's love, God's mercy, God's grace, God's ways is better than man. I'm about to show you this. Galatians 5:24 tells us, those who belong to Christ have crucified the flesh with the passions and desires. I'm going to continue to push forward because I've crucified myself. I've denied myself. I've died to these things. So I'm not about to give in. I'm not about to move. I'm not about to do nothing else. I've literally crucified myself with Christ, and I've crucified my passions and my desires with I don't care what door comes up against me, right? They look good. Temptations look good. But honoring God is even better. Brothers and sisters, I pray that we understand that he was letting God work, and that they wasn't putting Daniel to test, but they was putting God to test. And so Daniel was letting God display his power, his sovereignty, and his way in front of all of them. Them sipping on the wine and they eating the good breads and all that other stuff, and they like, man, that look good. That look good. Temptations look good, but honoring God is even better. Temptations look good, but it leads to our death. Honoring God gives us life. Honoring God gives us peace. But we must purpose in our heart not to defile and disobey King Jesus, because he did everything for us on the cross, right? So keep that in mind no matter what's going on with you in your life, man, and purpose in your heart to serve, honor, and obey him no matter what it looks like, no matter what they're doing around you, no matter how good it looks. When you understand all of these things and knowing that no matter what we go through, no matter where we are at, we have a God who fights for us. We have a God who is there with us. We have a God who gives us strength. But most importantly, we will have a genuine, loving relationship with him where we're intimate, saying, Jesus, I love you more than anything else, and I choose not to defile my body. I want to honor and serve you in every aspect. Let that be our heart, saint. I'm rejecting the king's delicacies because my God said no. I'm rejecting the king's delicacies because I love Christ. I'm putting Christ before culture. I'm putting Christ before the world. I'm putting Christ before that party. I'm putting Christ before that relationship. I'm putting Christ before that pornography. I'm putting Christ before that sex. I'm putting Christ before all of these things that will defile me as a child of God, right?